the 96 vote on News Center 5. Coverage you can count on.
Peter Mahegan's working on his slice, hitting the buffet line twice, and feeling... Where is he?
The island of Montserrat, a little bit of Ireland in the Caribbean.
Montserrat, a place where the names sound familiar.
My name is Cecilia Riley.
Murphy.
And the landscape is emerald green. Sounds like paradise, right?
To think that there might be an emerald isle that's warm.
So what's wrong with this picture?
Would you believe a live volcano?
Turning up the heat on Montserrat, next on Chronicle.
Beautiful sand, beautiful beaches, beautiful palm trees, beautiful sunshine, beautiful golf courses.
We've always had a reputation of having very friendly people.
Montserrat itself, I mean, I've been telling the people, honestly, I said, look, I think I'm in heaven.
Superlatives flow like Caribbean sunshine on the island of Montserrat. It is located 275 miles southwest of Puerto Rico. And unlike some of its better-known neighbors, this island's welcoming manner hasn't been worn thin by tourism.
As a matter of fact, some of our people could be very insulted if you pass them and don't tell them good morning or good afternoon. They are expecting that.
Montserrat is a small island. It's 10,000 residents sharing just 39 square miles. The temperature averages 85 degrees here. Fine black sand, created from eroded volcanic rock, covers the beaches. Turquoise blue water surrounds the island, but it's the green vegetation that defines Montserrat, and the color has a deeper significance. Montserrat, known as the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean, a reference not only to the lush green landscape, but to the cultural roots of many of its early settlers.
My name is Cecilia Riley.
Cecilia Riley. Would you tell me your last name?
Ogaro.
Ogaro.
Yeah.
Could I ask what they call you, what your name is?
They call me Murphy. Murphy.
If the surnames sound Irish, it's because they are. Due to an historic quirk, Montserrat maintains a touch of the Blarney.
Yeah, I was amazed when I came here as an Irishman and people said, oh, Father, this was an Irish colony. I said, listen, Ireland had no colonies. We were a colony ourselves. We're still struggling. I said, no, but then when I looked at the history and found that there were more Irish-born people on this island than African, I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Father Larry Finnegan served for 20 years as a parish priest in Dublin. He now enjoys warmer climes as pastor of Montserrat's St. Patrick's Church.
So these people were sent here as indentured servants or slaves, some of them originally?
Yeah, indentured servants, they would call them. But I mean, what's the difference between that and a slave? That's what I say to the people.
Father Larry, as he's known on the island, now knows well Montserrat's unusual Irish ties. In the 1600s, England's Oliver Cromwell expelled boatloads of Irish to work in the Caribbean. Many finally settled on Montserrat. Today, the connection makes for a tourist attraction.
I know that we have St. Patrick's Day as a national holiday. I think the government realizes too that the Irish connection could be quite strong.
Right.
And we have a lot of Monstratans with Irish names who both that their ancestors were Irish.
Feel at home, Father?
Yeah, feel at home, I'm telling you. That's what I tell the people. Sure, I tell them, well, I belong to the original Emerald Isle. Now, this is only the second, but it's beautiful. I said, but I have to still bow my head to the original Emerald Isle, I'd say, but this is a good image of that one now.
While the Irish connection flourishes here, there's also been a British invasion of the musical kind.
Here comes the sun.
Here at Montserrat's Air Studios, former Beatles producer George Martin brought in stars like Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Paul McCartney, and Bruce Springsteen to record their music. But nature halted the invasion. In 1989, Hurricane Hugo knocked Air Studios out of commission. The compound has been silent since. Montserrat, though, has its own native music maker. His name is Arrow, and his sound is called soca.
It's something about the music, the happiness of the music, that tends to just take you away with all the troubles of the world and make you feel happy, almost to a temporary utopia. But sometimes I play in a lot of cold countries in the winter time, and it's almost the cheapest Caribbean vacation you can get.
Alphonsus Arrow Cassell is to Montserrat what Elvis is to the U.S., the music king. He also penned what many Sun devotees consider a tropical anthem, Hot, Hot, Hot.
I never realized it would have turned out to be such a monster. I mean, you know, this song was first recorded by me the Christmas of '82. And up to today, it's outselling all my other records. And like good wine, as it gets older, it gets better. People just expect to hear it. It's become a standard classic.
A classic that has helped both Arrow and Island.
Does your music reflect this island in some ways, you think?
A lot of inspirations you hear in my music is Montserrat. You know, I travel a lot, and when I come back here, there's something about here that revitalizes me. You know, I come back very drained, and I feel like as if I'm charged when I come here. So a lot of the music are really from what I feel in the country. It has helped to put Montserrat on the map.
It's gorgeous. Any place where St. Patrick's Day is a national holiday, you could have boatloads of Bostonians going there.
That's right. Well, it's interesting, Mary, as Father Larry said, it's important not to over-romanticize the Irish connection, because when you think about it, the surnames were slave names of the black folks who were there. They were slaves, and they took the names of the plantation owners. Of course, the Irish themselves, as Father Larry said, came as slaves from England. So there is that sort of sad twist, too.
Story.
Right,
yes,
right.
yes, of course. Arrow, quite a character.
Quite a character, and he's coming to New England from Montserrat to Providence, Rhode Island on March 1st.
So hot, hot, hot in Providence, March 1st.
Right, should be a good take.
Just in time. Still to come, growing up on Montserrat after this.
You're watching Chronicle with Peter Mahegan, Mary Richardson, Liz Bruner, and Mike Barnacle.
Coming up later, tracking a live one.
And you can feel the heat as we go past from the hot rock.
And trying to turn a volcano into a tourist attraction. Coming up next, a Caribbean cookout and a New England exile.
The first time I came was on a holiday.
Closed caption funding provided by Bull Worldwide Information Systems.
I take blood pressure medication. Can I take cold pills with that?
Dr. Hoshak, Dr. Truitt.
If you're seeing more than one doctor and taking more than one medicine, there's a risk of a harmful drug interaction. But the OSCO computer system checks for interactions automatically. Allergies, too. That's why it makes sense to fill all your prescriptions with the healthcare professionals at OSCO. We'll save you money. We'll save you worries.
I've talked to both your doctors, and we
At OSCO, you can count on people who care.
Fruitful morning. Really? Met with my investment counselor.
And?
2 new mutual funds. 40% stocks, 60% bonds. I'll be ready for retirement.
Who says investing only works for the rich? Presenting retirement planning for the rest of us with financial counselors, free planning, and a range of investments.
Was that 40% stocks?
Yes, sir.
Call 1-800-767-9980, located at Bank of Boston.
Up next, Caribbean cookout.
Do you really know Steve Forbes or his positions on welfare? While working families struggle to make ends meet, Steve Forbes opposed requiring able-bodied recipients to work for their benefits after 2 years. Steve Forbes even believes taxpayers should pay for welfare benefits for illegal immigrants. Steve Forbes is just too liberal on welfare. Steve Forbes, untested, more liberal than you think.
Boston has a new radio station. Listen. Boston's smooth jazz 99.5, The Oasis. Smooth out your workday. Smooth Jazz 99.5, The Oasis.
Is there a spaghetti sauce owned and made by Italians? Si, Francesco Rinaldi. It's owned and made by Italians. Edward Salzano.
We use the right blend of imported and domestic ingredients for authentic Italian taste.
John Lidestri.
And we know authentic Italian taste.
Ralph Cantisano.
Ciao, Francesco Rinaldi.
Francesco Rinaldi. Authentic Italian taste made by Italians.
Here's the fantasy. You live in winters like this. Then you take a vacation where winter is like this. You meet someone there, you get married, and live tropically ever after. For Carol Osborne, originally from Natick, this fantasy is reality.
The first time I came was on a holiday. I came with a great aunt who lived in Commonwealth Avenue. She hated the winters in Boston, understandably, especially after this last one. And she asked me if I wanted to go away with her for a couple of months. And I said, I'd love to, but as long as it's quiet and peaceful. And she said, I have a friend who's retired to an island called Montserrat.
Carol met Cedric Osborne on that trip.
And I fell in love with Montserrat, and I fell in love with Cedric.
And the rest is history, Cedric, huh?
Yeah.
History.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And marriage met the hotel business, huh?
Well, I think she understood that.
Today, both Carol and Cedric run the Viewpoint. Its individual bungalows, sculpted landscape, and ocean view make it a popular place for tourists to relax. The owners, on the other hand,
the hotel business is 16, 18 hours a day. It's not as if you have very much time to be bored. We meet wonderful people every day, new people. We have a lot of clients from the New England area. I'm very partial to them, for obvious reasons.
The Osbornes offer their guests a Caribbean cookout once a week, complete with a steel band. Their sound is calypso, and their dress is emerald green.
But that is an important link, I would think, the appeal of an emerald isle in the Caribbean to Bostonians, people from New York.
Yeah, definitely, and I think part of the reason is because many of them have gone back to the real Emerald Isle, had such a wonderful time, but to think that there might be an Emerald Isle that's warm, to have them come in the wintertime, which is when Ireland itself doesn't have that much visitors.
Another charming aspect of the Viewpoint's location is that it borders the Montserrat Golf Club. I decided to explore this story in depth. I met up with Cedric and Carol's son, Michael, and a tourist from Marblehead, Peter Barry. Between strokes, I actually did some work.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what it was like for you growing up on this island.
That was great because you kind of do anything you want. There's freedom, no crime, and it's very laid-back kind of lifestyle.
And you played golf 12 months a year, Michael. That's tough.
Tried to play as much as possible.
Michael graduated from the University of New Hampshire with a degree in hotel management. He hopes to run the family business someday.
Now, as somebody who grew up in Montserrat, what did you think of the New England climate going to school?
I think it was horrible. I think it was unbelievable. I mean, snow. It was great seeing snow for the first time, but after that, it got old really quick, really quick.
You wanted to come home?
I couldn't wait for Christmas holidays. Couldn't wait.
Mark it with one of these Montserrat coins. Huh?
Now Montserrat is becoming more and more of a home for Peter Barry, who grew up in New England.
You're on vacation, Peter?
Yeah, we come down here every year. This is as a matter of fact, this is our 14th, 15th year coming down to Montserrat. And we stay now, because I am retired, we stay longer and longer and longer. So it's 3 months now this year.
After a few holes of golf, it was time to move on. We checked out Plymouth, the capital city, where worn shutters and old-fashioned buildings evoke images of New England coastal towns. Later, it was time to sample the happenings at the Caribbean Cookout and to check out some local lore. Legend has it that visitors who drink from this fountain called Runaway Got must someday return to Montserrat. Boss, not a bad idea. We'll see how much it costs to ship the old Chevy.
I thought you were going to bathe in that water. You really want to go back. Peter, it looks like a nice, serene island, but not necessarily for those who love the nightlife.
Well, that's it. If you want all the tourist amenities, the nightlife, Mary, Montserrat may not be for you. It's a quiet place. They don't have the tourist infrastructure. 2 hotels. A lot of people rent villas when they go down there, but it really is the way the Caribbean used to be, if you like the quiet.
Sounds awfully appealing. When we come back, a volcano flyover after this.
Coming up tomorrow on Chronicle, what are your dreams trying to tell you? Coming up next, Volcano Watch.
That'll be $89.50, please.
No, he's writing a check.
He's writing a check?
Writing a check. He's writing a check.
Check approval to register 5.
No, I have Baybank Express check.
Oh. He's got Baybank Express check.
He's got Baybank Express check. Baybank Express check. Baybank Express check.
Good.
With Express Check, your Baybank card now works like a check in millions of locations worldwide.
Next.
Baybank. Where do you want to do your banking?
Hey, what do we know about telecommunications?
We know about bunnies.
We know space monsters, movie tie-ins.
What do I know about ISDN?
What is that?
You wind it up.
Does it come with a battery?
9X knows that stuff.
9X knows networks. They know all the things I don't want to know.
I just know I've got to take the order.
Fax the contract.
Email the numbers. Let 9X worry about how.
When we need a new feature.
Or an upgrade.
We call 9X.
When they need a Martian android power trooper, they call us.
You start. I'll catch you up.
The Wang-centered classic films. Call 931-2000 for tickets.
Up next, is this a tourist attraction?
So you're here to pick up my sister. What's going on?
Getting to know what the candidates stand for. I found a great job. The Red Sox are looking for another reliever, maybe, huh? And I read about a new study linking steroid use to hair loss.
How do they know that?
All the information to help you through the day. Have you seen the Globe today?
This Sunday, sit in one place, sip coffee, and look at a bunch of cars. Chances are you know how to do that. Pick up the biggest automotive section of the season this Sunday in the Boston Globe.
I wanted the night.
You are not the only one.
Discover the woman behind the legend
He said you have an illness.
of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
You might call it a fracture in my soul.
Julia Roberts, John Malkovich.
Don't you know who I am? Mary Riley.
Rated R at theaters February 23rd.
February 2nd. The Concord Monitor reports Bob Dole's negative ad with Steve Merrill is not accurate. The Monitor stated Dole ignored exemptions that cut taxes. The Monitor concluded an average family's tax bill under Forbes' plan will be $4,400 lower, not $2,000 higher as Dole claims. But knowing his ad is false, Bob Dole continues to run it. That's wrong.
It's big, it is belching, and it scares some people off from even visiting the island.
You're not talking about me, I know that, Mary. What are we talking about? That large hump that looms over Montserrat's landscape, the volcano.
On the map you can hardly find it, but it's always my paradise.
It's an explosive issue. On this island where tourism is the main trade, a volcano has been active since July of 1995. The island where the song Hot, Hot, Hot was born feels the heat.
Volcano has been sleeping, and now he is awakening. I don't know what to do.
The volcano has had a damper on tourism this winter, and so we now have to show people that there is relatively little danger. Come along, have a look at one of the only live active volcanoes in the Caribbean, see it, see the beauty and splendor of it. So that's what we're hoping to achieve.
Twice now, the southern residents of Montserrat have been evacuated to the north of the island for fear they'd be in the path of an eruption. All residents are back in their homes for now.
This past winter looked like the best one since Hurricane Hugo. And then on July 18th, the volcano started to vent, and they feel that there hasn't been any activity like this for over 300 years, maybe a lot longer. So why now?
Business people here say that because of the volcano, it's difficult to get financing and support for new construction. Two large questions loom. Is a major explosion coming? And if not, can a smoking volcano actually help the tourist trade?
Now we're coming in over the crater and looking at the active lava dome there. The light grey material, it's all active material. And you can feel the heat as we go past from the hot rock, which is glowing at night.
A team of scientists is carefully monitoring the volcanic activity. Simon Young is a researcher from England.
Is this exciting for someone like yourself?
Certainly is, yeah. Yeah, there are not many active volcanoes around the world at any one time, and to get the opportunity to be working so closely with it, with the monitoring exercise, and also, you know, looking at the science and looking at new mountain being formed up there, it's pretty neat.
According to Simon, molten rock far below the crater's surface is pushing gas and cooler rock to the top.
There's a dome, what we call a lava dome. And the lava dome is cool on the outside at about 100 degrees or slightly more. But as you go deeper into the dome, beneath about 10 or 20 meters perhaps, there is much hotter rock. And that's pushing up from inside, and the dome is growing.
Occasionally, the volcano belches dark ash, and there's a small earth tremor. But scientists say a major explosion is unlikely.
There is a very small possibility that something more explosive could happen. You know, that's why we're keeping on monitoring the thing. We'll notice some big changes in our signals that we're receiving from the volcano through our various equipment if that was going to happen.
But that's not something that you think is terribly likely?
No, it's very unlikely at the moment.
Optimists hope visitors will come to the island to observe this natural wonder.
So we have had 5 of our guests went up to the rim 2 Sundays ago, and they walked all the way up the 2,000 steps to 3,000 feet and looked right into the volcano, and while they were there was a small ash eruption. But it didn't bother them at all. They came back down and was telling us all about it.
Hold on, Montserrat, please.
As residents face this mountainous uncertainty, singer Alphonsus Cassell captures the islanders' resiliency.
I had to do like a mental stabilizer to let people know that, look, yes, we have a volcano here, but there's so much things that are peculiar to Montserrat, which are better than elsewhere. They just can't run away and leave it. It's almost like a national anthem here now. You know, everybody sings, I just can't run away.
Run away, no way. How could I run away?
Does it worry you?
The volcano?
Yeah.
No. That's nature's work, man. Can't do anything about that. No. I wouldn't run from it. What's supposed to happen just happened.
Hold on, Montserrat. Hold on to what you got. Oh, what a lovely country.
Great story, and another hit for Arrow.
That's right. Nature's work, Mon. You can't run away from it.
More of Chronicle after tonight's Lottery Live.
Coming up Wednesday on Chronicle, chocolate-covered broccoli and other designer foods.
I love the fishes because they're so delicious. Gone go fishing. I could eat them every day. And my mom says that's okay.
That's because moms know Pepperidge Farm goldfish crackers are baked, not fried like most chips. And they're cheesy, not sugary like sweet snacks.
I love the fishes because they're so delicious. Gone go fishing. Gone go fishing.
Goldfish, it's one snack that's okay to get hooked on.
I tried a no-name long-distance company because the savings sounded simple, right? Wrong.
Bill made me dizzy. Savings, nothing but restrictions.
My work's enough to deal with. Things at home gotta be simple.
So I got AT&T True Reach Savings. It's the only way I save 25% on every type of call on my AT&T phone bill, no matter who I call in the U.S.
AT&T True Reach Savings. Save 25% when you spend just $25 a month. AT&T True Reach Savings. That's your true choice. AT&T.
I'm Casey Kasem with your Ford dealer's #1 hits. Together, they're 5 of the top 10 best-selling vehicles in America. Let's hear from these great leaders now.
Hail to the chief.
Gentlemen, I meant the cars.
Now get low 4.8% financing or $1,000 cash back on Ford Windstar. 4.8 could save you over $2,700 in finance charges. $1,000 cash back could mean no money down. But hurry, the great percent event ends soon.
For America's #1 hits, I'm Casey Kasem. And for President's Day savings, see your New England Ford dealer today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kristen Daly, and welcome to Lottery Live on Channel 5. Happy Monday to all of you. If you haven't heard about our Mass Millions jackpot, then listen up because you don't want to miss out on this one. Because we haven't had a top prize winner in quite some time, the jackpot for tomorrow night is an estimated $15 million. You don't want to miss out on that, so be sure you have a ticket. And don't forget about this week's Mega Bucks. That jackpot is estimated at $1 million. And tonight is Monday, and that means mass cash later on this evening. But right now, let's see how you did on tonight's daily number. Our first number tonight is 8. That's followed by 0. Next is 2. And our final number is 2. Once again, the winning daily number for Monday, February 12th is 8022. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to stay tuned to Channel 5 for an all-new Murder 1, followed by News Center 5. We'll see you right back here at 11:10.
Tomorrow, what are your dreams telling you? Experts say dreams are messages we send to ourselves. Find out how to listen to them. Plus, no more nightmares. How to overcome bad dreams in adults and children. Take a trip inside your brain as Chronicle interprets the world of dreams tomorrow.
It's a fascinating show. We had some of the top researchers in dream therapy and analysts. And
look forward to that one. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Good night.
Tonight,